Winner of this year's jury prize at the Cannes Film Festival, A Screaming Man is a film by Amat Salah Haran, a Chadian film director who has made one of the most emotionally stirring films playing at the Chicago Film Festival. It's about a very prideful father and prideful worker at that, a man named Adam, whose whole life is his job, essentially. He works as a pool boy at a local resort in Chad, and one day, because of the effects of the war, the hotel he's worked at has had to downsize, and he essentially loses his job to his own son. The film is shot in a realist fashion with kind of, these long takes and deep focus and things like that, and it's a very subtle film, but still emotionally impactful as well. And in the way that the director portrays this war in Chad, this horrendous civil war, is also extremely interesting, because he's not interested in depicting these big kind of brash scenes of war and fighting and combat. The way that the war is depicted in the film is through planes that are flying overhead and through constant radio chatter that kind of goes on in the background. It's not something that's at the forefront of the main character's mind, but it's something that is there and shapes his decisions, and it's just a very affecting film in ways that are not so noticeable, and it's very somber and very sad, and still at the same time there are moments of hope, and it's ultimately a very beautiful film, and it's one of the best playing at the film festival this year. I give it a 4 out of 5.
Good morning, everyone. It is 7 o'clock here in Canyonland, USA.
Hey, Aaron. Mom still has not heard from you. Will you just call her, please? I'll talk to you soon.
From acclaimed director Danny Boyle is called 127 Hours, and it tells the harrowing story of Aaron Ralston. And Aaron Ralston is a guy that, even if you don't recognize his name, you know his story. He is the guy who single-handedly emasculated every single man from here to eternity by effectively cutting off his own arm after he was trapped under a boulder in the Utah desert for, you guessed it, 127 hours. It's from James Franco, who's great. I mean, as usual, he's consistently very good in his performances as Aaron Ralston. There's no question. He does a good job of playing Ralston as kind of the playful, bro-ish kind of all for nothing kind of guy, and then the turn that he takes, kind of towards 3/4 of the way from the movie, when he realizes kind of the things that the people he's let down in his life, it's really affecting stuff, and that's a credit to Boyle, who, despite his playfulness and despite his kind of boyish, playfulness approach to filmmaking, he's not afraid and doesn't shy away from getting serious when the film needs to get serious, and so we have to give Boyle a lot of credit there. The scene that everybody, is expecting to see, in which Ralston chooses to sever his own arm, is handled extremely well. It's extremely affecting, as brutal and as horrifying to watch as you can imagine, but also tasteful in the same sense of what it represents to the narrative and to the whole theme of the film. So I give this film 3 out of 5.
And why have you decided to go through with this procedure today?
We're just about to get married.
On behalf of Veridical, we'd like to offer you our sincerest congratulations on your forthcoming nuptials. Ready?
Ready.
In this quirky comedy from the UK, Andrew Buckley and Ed Guan play a pair of company men who work for this organization who possess somehow the technology to extract people's deepest, darkest secrets from the bedroom closets and provide the information back to their customers. It's a very interesting theme. It's a very interesting narrative kind of film. It's a unique story. It's got a lot of really intellectual humor to it. The rapport between the two main characters is really effective. They have a great chemistry to them. They're funny and they're smart, and they're not afraid to be smart. And it's to see them kind of on their back and forth as they travel across the English countryside, performing this task is. It's really great for the first 30 minutes, but unfortunately, the film's script and then from director Nick Whitfield, he doesn't really do a great job at sustaining this kind of whimsical tone throughout the whole film. It kind of wears a little thin at some points, and in spurts, the film gets a little too conceptual and shies away from the more thematic strengths that it had and focuses more on kind of this story, and it loses a little bit of its footing kind of towards the middle and towards the end, but it remains a very interesting film and a very fun film to watch. It's very funny and very entertaining. It's just the kind of lighthearted film that also provides enough, intellectual capacity for really something for you to chew on and something to think about after you left the theater. I just wish that maybe it had been a little more smart throughout its entirety, but at the same time, it's hard to fault it just because it is such a fun film. It's just an easy film to watch, and it's, like I said, very, very entertaining. So I give the film 3 out of 5.